Hello professionals, this is the third video in the series of how to become HR business partner. In last two videos you learned how to align your recruitment and HR operation processes to the business goal so that you can start partnering in the business. I'm sharing the link of both the videos in the description box and recommend you to watch them as it will help you a lot to grow in your career. The agenda of today's video is to tell you about those things which will help you to align your learning and development processes to the business goal. So if you wish to learn this topic to give a boost to your career, then stay tuned till the end of the video. In L&D team, number one thing which you should focus on, that is connect the learning and development team goal to the organization goal. Whatever is the goal for your organization for next 1 or 2 years, simply make the learning and development team goal on the same lines. As an example, if your organization has a target to start the business in 2 new markets in coming 2 years, then the goal of learning and development team should be what are the competencies which are required in employees to take up the charge in the new market and how can they excel in that role. Once it is decided that how many internal and external employees are going to take up the charge in the new market, then your role comes in picture. After knowing about the job roles for which internal employees are going to take up the charge, you have to follow these things. Number one, if it is a new role in the company, then you have to identify the competencies which are required to perform in that role, discuss and finalize those competencies with the required managers. And if it is an existing role in the company, then you simply have to pick up the competencies which are required to perform in that role. As a second step, you have to ask the managers to rate each employee on a scale of 0 to 10 or 0 to 5 and match it with desired level of competencies. And you can get desired level of competencies data easily from your recruitment team because they will have this data. As a third step, then you simply have to assist to bridge the gap between the current level of competencies which your employees have and desired level of competencies. Now your task is go to the comment section and tell us what do you think as an HR business partner, how can you help the organization to start the business in 2 new markets, and your inputs will help many other people who are watching this video. Now let's move towards the second point which you should focus on, and that is training calendar execution percentage. What percentage of training calendar are you executing is an important aspect to check because it will give you idea what did you deliver against what were you supposed to. How many trainings were planned in the beginning of the year and how many did you actually execute should be tracked. Along with training calendar execution percentage, you should check these points as well. Number one, how many internal and external training were delivered by your team in 1 year? Because one of the goal of learning and development team is to develop in-house pool of trainers who can train other employees rather than always looking for external trainers. Number two, how many new internal trainers did you develop in 1 year? And number three, you should have a system in your organization to track the feedback of each training and should have a minimum threshold for it so that you are aware if the training was average, good, outstanding or below average, and always share this feedback with the trainers so that they are aware what do they need to improve as a trainer. In my last organization, I used to calculate training feedback at NPS level, which is Net Promoter Score, and minimum threshold was 60%. You can calculate NPS this way, which will help you to know how many participants will actually talk good about the training outside the training room. All these metrics will help you to know if your training or training processes are good or need to be improved. Now let's move towards the third point which you should focus on, and that is tracking participation rates in the training. Tracking participation rate can tell you a lot about overall engagement of employees with your training program. How many employees are attending the training or are they backing out just a day before of the training or at a last moment will tell you about their interest level in the training. As L&D professionals, we often come across this problem that employees do not turn up for the training. I will tell you how company like Google dealt with this problem, and I'm sure this solution will help you as well. One of the challenges which Google was facing was that Googlers would often sign up for the learning courses and then fail to attend. In the first half of 2012, they had 30% no-show rate, which prevented others on the wait list from taking courses and caused to run half-empty classes. They tried sending different emails to employees to resolve this issue, and those emails were desire to avoid harming others, showing photos of the people who are not able to attend the course so others can see who would be harmed if they do not attend the training, and reminding participants to do the right thing. All these emails had dual effects. Number one, it reduced no shows in the training, and number two, it increased the rate of cancellation in advance than at a last moment. Such a simple approach gave amazing result to the Google to reduce the no-shows in the training. If you are also facing no-show problem in your trainings, then try this solution and maybe it will work for you as well. Now let's move towards the fourth point which you should track. But before that, I want to know your feedback. Are you finding this video informative, helpful, yes or no? If yes, then like the video, share your thoughts in the comment section, and do subscribe to the channel so that you get to watch more such meaningful content in the future. And your subscription motivates me as well to make more such videos for you. Now let's move towards the fourth point which you should track, and that is completion rate. This point is for those organizations who are using LMS, which is Learning Management System. Most LMS provide this feature where you can track how many participants completed the training course, or up to what percentage did they complete the training course, or how much time did they spend on each course. If you are losing your learners before the course completion, then tracking the point at which they exit from the training course can help you to identify the problem, and then changing your content or course accordingly can help you to engage them more in your trainings. Now let's move towards the fifth point, which is very important, which you should track as an L&D professional, and that is skill enhancement in the participant. This is one of the ultimate goal of the learning and development team, because you should know if your trainings are resulting in any kind of skill enhancement of the employees or not. For technical training and courses, it is easy to assess the knowledge because that can be done via an exam like it happens in school or colleges. But when it comes to soft skills, then you have to pay extra efforts to understand if employees' soft skills are getting enhanced or not, because that cannot be tracked via any exam. So here I am sharing few ways with you which will help you to track the changes in employees' behavior. Number one, ask the manager to do on the job observation and share the feedback. I have personally used this method in one of my last organization, where I used to ask the reporting manager to share the skill enhancement feedback after 60 days of the training. I used to specifically ask the manager to share any two examples where participants have shown learned skills. Number two, you can also understand skill enhancement by tracking actual job performance, and that can be done via key performance indicators. And number three, you can track it by customers' feedback, compliments, comment, or observations. And number four, you can ask the participant to do the self-assessment on those competencies which were taught in the training and match it with manager's rating. But here you need to collect pre and post training feedback so that you can clearly see the difference. I have personally used point number 1 and point number 4 in combination. So these are the top 5 things which you can use to align your learning and development process to the organization goal so that you can start partnering in the business.